And we back. It's time to rebuild the Phoenix Suns. A few years ago, they were invited to the bubble where they went undefeated. Everybody was thinking next year's gonna be the year they jump into the playoffs. That offseason, they traded for Chris Paul. And not only did they jump into the playoffs, they jumped into the NBA Finals and eventually lost to Giannis and the Bucks. Then the season after that, they were dominant in the regular season, but then ran into Luka. And now this season, they started off pretty decent. Devin Booker went out with some injuries, and they're sub 500. It's time for me to step in and complete their challenge. So of course, Book is injured right now, out 2 to 4 weeks still, which is unfortunate. Chris Paul hasn't been the Chris Paul we saw the last couple seasons. In the game of 2K, he's still an 86 plus 1, a morale boost. So that's really great. But we also have Cameron Payne out. Mikal Bridges has been good, and then he's also struggled at times because now with Devin Booker being out, and then a missing DeAndre Ayton for some time, and then Chris Paul being in and out of the lineup, his role has increased more than what you typically want. Cam Johnson tore his meniscus. They're still saying 4 to 6. Torrey Craig has played all right in his minutes and all, but he's still Torrey Craig. Dario Saric, Jay Crowder's technically not with the team, so we're not even going to play him. And then we get DeAndre Ayton, which is probably our biggest trade chip. He was offered an offer sheet from the Indiana Pacers. The Suns matched it because they really had no other thing to do. But I think the time has ran out between DeAndre Ayton and the Suns, and we're going to try to maximize his value since he's still an 85 overall. Now, when I do these rebuilds, they're not hyper-realistic, so I might do some trades that y'all don't like. It is what it is. My goal is to get the Suns a championship, all right? I'm going to give it a little bit more time, but I know at this deadline, we want to be sellers, buyers. We want to do something to change this team up because it's not it. We basically need to get Devin Booker back. That's the first thing. But Book being back matters a ton in our success as a team. So we're going to go into like the February 1st mark and try to figure things out. Cameron Payne is back from his injury, so that's dope. We have our backup point guard back. Wait, what the heck? Cameron Payne's minutes were at 33. Impossible. Impossible. There's no way Cameron Payne's getting more minutes than some of these dudes up here. I actually don't even. Jay Crowder should not be playing. I don't even know why the minutes are so like this. I know a lot of people are tired. Why is everybody tired, though? There's got to be a 2K book. There's got to be a 2K book. Everybody is tired except for the dude that's coming back from his injury. I think not. So that's got to be a bug, and I don't like it. It's a bug that we are against. I mean, most bugs are bad, but that bug is too crazy. Finally, Book is back! Ladies and gentlemen, Devin. Oh, so these people went from tired to just on fire. Just like that. Book is back. And that answers a lot of the questions. That puts us in the best position to win basketball games because obviously he's by far the best player on the roster. And to have him back here, I mean, it means a lot to our individual success. He's going to be healthy, and that's exactly what we need from him. Just be healthy, be good, and the rest could fall into place. But that we still want to be buyers. I still need to be buyers / sellers / a move needs to be done. First game with Book, we lose by almost 30 to a team that's tanking. Then we lose to Luka. And then we lose this game against the Spurs. Okay, we win by 1 against the Spurs. This next game is super interesting against the Toronto Raptors. And we lost. And it's time. It's time. It's time to make the trade. And one of the people I want to go after this man right here. He just gave us 30. We want to get that 30 on our team. We just have to figure out a way to convince the Raptors that it's that time. Like I said, we're not living in the world of hyper-realism, but y'all know the Raptors are struggling this season. And a guy like Pascal Siakam is very, very valuable. He would be extremely valuable here in Phoenix. So we can convince them to be sellers at the deadline or retoolers. How about that? How about that? Because the word sale has a negative connotation. You know what I'm saying? Y'all going to be retoolers at the deadline. At least that's my mindset because I'm giving y'all DeAndre Ayton in a hypothetical swap. I mean, obviously, this is not going to be it. They want Jay Crowder. Guess what? We wanted to give you Jay Crowder, so this is low-key perfect. But this also doesn't feel like enough. I know, like I said, I'm not trying to be hyper-realistic, but I also don't want to super finesse these boys. I'll take on Otto Porter, who's technically out this season. I'll give you Jay Crowder. And with this trade, you know, you can still make a push to the lottery. I don't know. I was going to say to the playoffs. I mean, losing Pascal Siakam, you're not making a push to the playoffs. But I also don't want to super finesse. So I'll give you our first round pick this season, which is valuable because right now we suck. We're just thinking that if we bring in Pascal Siakam, then we believe that we're going to be a playoff team. All right, so we'll give you Jay. Actually, I don't want to give you Jay Crowder. I would rather be DeAndre Ayton and two to three picks and let that be it. I'll give you 2025, top 3 on 2025, because we don't know exactly where we're going to be at. And if we end the run-in to be one of the worst teams in basketball, I want to retain that pick. So Ayton, 2 firsts. I wish we had a young player to throw y'all. It's really Dwayne Washington Jr. who's been good in the minutes we've given him. But in real life, I mean, you're not going to be like, oh, yes, they attach him. Josh, do you want Josh Okogie? I'm guessing not. So it would be Aiden and 2 firsts. What do y'all say? They say the deal is done. I honestly believe if Pascal gets traded, it might be a little bit more than that. But you got think about it this way. Think about it this way. We didn't just give them anything. We gave them DeAndre Aiden, who at this point is only 24 years old. He can still be growing. He needed a new scenery, and now they can run out a lineup of Fred VanVleet, Gary Trent Jr., OG Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, and now I almost said Pascal. Pascal's gone. And now DeAndre Aiden. I see that as an absolute win for y'all if you decide to trade Pascal Siakam away. Okay, so the next thing I got to do is now replace that center because I moved Pascal over to his original position in the four spot. So what can we do to get a center? Now, the Suns in real life were basically okay with running out JaVale McGee last season and running out Bismack Biyombo. They don't believe that center position is as important to them. So I think we could potentially get away if we can snag a Jakob Poeltl for the end of the season, if we can snag a Mason Plumlee for the rest of the season, or if we want more offense, we could go Nikola Vucevic. And you already saw that they said the Bulls are selling all 3 of these players on the last year of their deals. So if we make a trade for one of them, there's no real reason to think that they would re-sign. All 3 of these teams would be teams looking to try to maximize the last year of their deals for their starting centers. But what type of package do we have to give up? Basically, we got to convince a team to take on Jay Crowder. And that's $10 million. And then anybody else has money. And Dario Saric. So that's like $19 million. That would be enough to get Vucevic. The Bulls would probably want some seconds or firsts or something like that. That would be enough to get Jakob Poeltl too, because he's only making $9 million. I mean, but Jakob, this is gonna sound crazy. Jakob is probably more valuable to the Spurs, where they would want a first round pick for sure. I don't know if the Bulls feel the same way, especially and if this universe, they're already saying that they're selling. Like, not a lot of teams have said they're selling. Porzingis is on the board for a selling team, but like, not a lot of teams have said they're selling. The Bulls are one of those teams. And actually, the Hornets are too. So there is a world where like Mason Plumlee is the guy. He's gonna be cheaper. He's 32. How do I like his fit? I kind of like the Vucevic fit mostly because you don't look for him to do a lot of the defensive stuff. And we have defensive players on the roster that can maybe cover up when Nikola Vucevic lacks in. And it just adds another element to Chris Paul and Devin Booker's playmaking to have a center that's looked to be more of an offensive threat, more than just like here's the ball 2 feet away from the basket, here's a lob. But maybe they want a guy that goes up to get lobs. I don't really know. I don't know. I got to figure out how do we prioritize this? Who's number 1, who's number 2, and who's number 3? What if I let reverse trade finder determine it? They want Jay Crowder and Damian Lee. They want Chris Paul, Landry Shamet and Damian Lee. They want Mikal Bridges and they want Terry Craig. Okay, that's one option. Next one, Miles Bridges got picked up by the Mavericks for $5 million. That's something. Mason Plumlee, they just want Dario in the second. I mean, that's about as easy as it gets. But I do want to move Jay Crowder to another team. But maybe that just means we get a third trade. Out there. Because Jay is not going to finish this season here. There's no way. There's no way we can do that. But the Mason Plumlee deal looks like the easiest one. It's 1 second-round pick. We already gave up 2 first-round picks to get. See, they want Mikal Bridges, Chris Paul. They want Mikal Bridges. Yeah. Vucevic is basically off the table. I honestly do believe this Mason Plumlee one makes the most sense for us. They get a second-round pick from 2027. We got ourselves a new starting center, ladies and gentlemen. Mason Plumlee has some playmaking chops. We gonna lower his usage rate. He definitely not gonna handle the ball as much as he does in Charlotte right now. I'd be honest with you, I don't love it. I'm being honest, I don't love it. But we do need to move Jay Crowder to another team. So let's figure out a team that can get us something for around the $9 million mark, because that's where we're looking right now. Furkan Korkmaz and Daniel House. Interesting. Why is finding a Jay Crowder trade harder than trading for LeBron? I have no idea what a Jay Crowder trade looks like right now. And the bridge has been burned. We can't just say come on and play in our lineups and our rotations right now. It's done. All right, we're gonna tank the cost. Jay Crowder, Saban Lee for Furkan Korkmaz, Daniel House. Add a trade exception. Oh, I thought that was for sure gonna be a deal. They say no. I bet you if I did reverse trade finder, they say yes. I bet you. Oh, we're a championship contender team. We don't want that. Just give me these two dudes. Just give Jake. Okay, they want. See, this is too much though. We're losing that trade. Stop it. Just take the one. This is exactly the trade I drew. All right, we're not gonna complain. We're just gonna accept because it's exactly what we wanted. And now we have a lineup of Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges, Pascal Siakam, and Mason Plumlee. Off the bench, we have Cameron Payne, Torrey Craig, Damian Lee, Jacques Landale, Landry Shamet. I would have loved to find another scorer off our bench because I think we need some bench production. I think we need some guard production, but it's hard to make that trade happen. Hard to find that trade. There was a world where we traded Jay Crowder with a second-round pick to the Bulls for like Alex Caruso. But Alex Caruso doesn't translate in a game of 2K. So right now we sit at the 10th seed. So we're a play-in team at the moment before all of those trades. And hopefully those trades made us better, put us in a better position to win a bunch of games, to get ourselves back to where we want to be. Cam Johnson comes back the day after we make all these trades. So that's beauty. All right, first trade, post trades, we lose. Devin Booker gave us 47. Pascal's debut looks like 10-4. And 14 points. Not the greatest debut, but that's fine. We got a lot of season left. But we are at the point where we need to start turning it around. We're at the point we need to start turning it around, squad. So let's put the pressure on each other to be good. We're 10 games under 500. We gave up our first round pick. Yes, we finally won a game. Triple double from Pascal. Beautiful. Oh, a lot of pressure to be at least competent. So that first round pick that we gave away is not Victor Wembanyama or something. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we're starting to put it together. A 4-game win streak going into the All-Star break. I'm guessing Book didn't make it. Booker missed too much time to make the All-Star game. That makes sense. Pascal did make it, though. So we have, a guy in Pascal that can make it. And he did make it, which is great. So this is one of the worst possible outcomes. He's already 74 years old, and he's getting injured. We're running Devin Booker at the 1. Mikal Bridges has to go to the 2. We're running Cam Johnson. We're running the big lineup. Book has showed us that he can run point guard and everything, but that is terrible. Considering we were trying to be competent. We're trying to be good this season, and our starting point guard, the point god, gets injured with like a month left in basketball, and we're on the outside looking in. Now, if we go on a run and start winning a bunch of games post Chris Paul injury, I think that's telling us a little something, don't you think? Okay, we lose back-to-back games. Dang. How far are we out? We're quite a ways out with 4 weeks left, a month left in basketball. We got to go overdrive. And the way we do that is just give a bunch of men. Mason Plumlee, are you bad? Yeah, this is the worst outcome. Fractured left leg at 37 sounds like something that's gonna put you out for the rest of your career. But there's a win. We needed that. Shout out to Orlando. Good luck in the lottery this season. I hope y'all win because you gave us a win. Next, we got OKC. Shout out to them as well. Shout out to Shea, Mikal Bridges. Big old night. 11 for 19. Just get to 500 and we have a chance. Just get to 500. There's a nice little win streak. We knew it wasn't gonna last forever, but we're 3 games under. And 3 games under puts us in the play-in right now. So we'll take that at the moment. We're 2 games under. We're going against one of the best teams in basketball. We beat them. Are they still one of the best teams, or am I just talking? Okay, they fell all the way down. But in real life, you know what I'm saying? You've been watching basketball. But there we are. We're in the play-in tournament at the moment. We still, can jump outside of the play-in if we continue this run that we on. And we go against OKC again. I just love OKC, man. Thank you. Book is doing great as the point guard post Chris Paul. So that makes me interested at what's going to come after the Chris Paul injury. And now we're above 500 for the first time since what? January? First time since December, something like that. We continue to win. We got 3 games left for the season. Here's we beat them by 40. Triple-double alert from Pascal, baby. This is what we need, Pascal. This is the type of performances we need from you every night for the rest of the season. We're a play-in team. We're low. We're not even a play-in lock. We just beat the Nuggets, and that's big. We need the Nuggets to lose a couple games, and we need to win these last 2. Okay. It looked like we're going to be fighting it in, thugging it out through the play-in. The Lakers have secured a legitimate playoff spot with that win, and they forced us to be in play-in team. They traded for Kevon Looney. Okay. All right. A lot of trades didn't happen, apparently. Kevon Looney for Lonnie Walker. Norman Powell for TJ McConnell. You got our deals. Gordon Hayward is on the Rockets right now. Oh, Alex Caruso was traded to the Pistons, so I was talking about maybe we make a trade for Alex Caruso. He was already on a different team by that time. Last game of the season, don't matter. We've already locked ourselves into the play-in. Luka averages a smooth, like, legitimate triple-double. I would guess on the last day of the season, he did everything he needed to end up exactly 10 and 10, and that's what he did. So, shout out to him. Russell Westbrook, 6th man of the year. Giannis APOY. Trey Jones wins Most Improved Player, and Joe Mazzulla wins Coach of the Year. All right. Phoenix Suns basketball, baby. Pascal Siakam made the All-NBA team. So we traded for an All-NBA player towards the deadline, which is dope. We need to win one of these two games. We're going against the Golden State Warriors, who traded away Kevon Looney, and that's why they're a playing team right now. I guess they have a playing, like they're on the playing trajectory right now in real life. Oh, no, they're not. No, they're not. Not as I'm recording this video. We won, by the way. So, oh my God, Cam, 11 threes. Pascal fouled out. We had 30. 11 threes for Cam is beautiful. Forced us to go against the Pelicans in the first round of the playoffs. Can we make an upset happen? They're starting Dyson Daniels over Herb Jones. Is that the right move? Only time will tell. We got a lot of length and a lot of size. We got some defense. I think we match up well. They have a better bench than us, undoubtedly. They're a way deeper team than us. I'm trying to figure out if I just want to shorten my rotation. Like, should Landry Shamet be getting playoff minutes, realistically? You know, we know he's got a torch. We know he's a shooter. But should Jacques Landale be getting minutes? I guess we have no choice because we don't have a backup center outside of him. How about I just lower the minutes for a lot of these guys instead of taking them away, and then give him Book 40, and then give him Pascal 40, and give him Mikal Bridges a lot because we need his defense, and then Plumlee's Plumlee. But Pascal does run some backup centers too, so we'll be fine. First game we lose by 7 points. Okay, no big deal. Second game we lose by more than 7 this time. We were just laying the foundation for next season. Oh my God, we're fighting all the way back. This is a game 7 scenario. We were up, or we were down 3-0, and now it's a game 7. This is where we tell Landry Shamet you can't play no more because you shoot at 32% from 3. This is where we tell Jacques Landale you only can play 4 minutes because you're not shooting well. Damian Jones can keep his minutes. Torrey Craig can keep his minutes for defense. I need something better as a backup point guard. I mean, Chris Paul would help right now a lot too. But we need our star guys, our main guys, to play all of this game. The Lakers, as a 6 seed, upset at the 3 seed Timberwolves, which is crazy that the Timberwolves climbed all the way up to the 3 seed after where they started when this video was starting. Here we go, game 7. We're in New Orleans. First half, we win. Second half, we come out guns blazing, and we pulled off the upset. Oh my God. Oh my God. Z had 9 points. CJ 9 points. Brandon Ingram 10 points. The defense was on point. You know what I'm saying? Mason Plumlee, 10 rebound game. That's what we here for. And Book with 27, 12, 7, and 4. Love it, D-Book. Come on. Now we're going against the Lake Show. We beat them 2 years ago in our path when we went to the NBA Finals, so we can do it again, right? They're starting 370 overall players, but LeBron and AD are so overpowered that it doesn't matter. All right, we got good matchups against them, though. Game 1, the Lakers win. LeBron gives us a great performance, 35, 12, and 8. Book ends up with a 30-point triple-double nearly, but we lose by a ton of points, so it's not even impressive. Game 2, we win. It's legit. This is what we need to do. We let LeBron do his thing. We let AD do his thing because they can't do it all by themselves. Everybody else less than 10 points. On our side, 35, 23, 21, near triple-double, P. So, yeah, we can do this. We lose the next game. See, because we allowed other people to be productive. We allow other people to be productive. We're down 3-1, but guess what? We were just down 3-0 in the last series. This team got some. Never mind, we lost. All right. The Lakers make it all the way to the conference finals. Luka versus Giannis in the finals, and it's going to be Luka getting his first championship at the age of 24. Did y'all make any changes to the roster? Oh, you signed Miles Bridges. Yup, you signed Miles Bridges. That was what you did. All right. Chris Paul's trying to retire. We can't allow him to, right? We'll let it be somewhat realistic and say, hey, you're 38. You just fractured your leg. You calling it quits. He's Chris Paul, man. He's not calling it quits. I almost convinced myself to let that man retire. Man, get out of here, bro. He's Chris Paul. You know what I'm saying? The Rockets win the lottery, and I guess that means that Vic is going there and Scoot is going to the Spurs. All right, I think we need to use 6.5. We'll accept that. We'll accept your 6.5. We might move you to a new team or something. We have to find a way to get our bench better. I think we were very, very lackluster in that part of the game. You know? Very, very lackluster in that part of the game. I'm looking at these bottom teams and trying to figure out who I could potentially trade for. Kenyon Martin Jr. is a good player. Small forward, but he's only making $1.9 million. So maybe not. But they have like a surplus of people like a Jay Shante, Kenyon Martin Jr. And they also went in free agency and signed D'Angelo Russell. So they're trying to do something, but they just have too many wings on their roster. I'm trying to end up with Terry Rozier, Hornets bad team, tanking team. They just had the 5th overall pick last season. He's under contract for 2 more years. We're giving him a bunch of expiring contracts. I'm kind of over Cam Payne as a backup, and I don't want to pay him. We don't really have picks, so I'm hoping that this 2nd round pick could get it done, and it does. We got a good 6th man in Terry Rozier, who could start if Chris Paul's fractured leg carries over to the regular season. I think that's a dub. I mean, now we have some good depth at the wing position with Cam Johnson being back on a 3-year, $43 million. We brought back Torrey Craig. Both of these guys can run some 3. We brought in Drew Eubanks to be our backup center behind Mason Plumlee, who we re-signed. We brought back Damian Lee on the minimum. And I honestly think that this could be a year that we are buyers at the deadline, even though we don't have a bunch of draft capital. We still got the $5 million here. We got $10 million if you count that. But if we want to go in on the center, this is another $11 million. I'm just saying, we setting ourselves up to become buyers if we need to. We need to find a backup center or a backup point guard. That's the only thing. And right now, the market for what we got at this league minimum ain't great. I mean, we can bring in Hal Neto, but Hal Neto not getting minutes. But Terry Rozier can be the backup point guard and the backup shooting guard. You know what I'm saying? So we should be fine. Porzingis went to the Magic like they don't already have a bunch of good and big guys over there. Then they got Draymond Green with the Spurs. Free agency was kind of crazy, wasn't it? And we have the bird rights on Josh Okogie. That's another $4 million contract for us to be buyers. 1,000% we're going to be buyers. I don't care what nobody say. We're going to be buyers. Chris Paul dropped a ton. Mason Plumlee dropped a ton. Torrey Craig dropped a bunch. Hey, Furkan Korkmaz is still getting better. Damian Lee dropped a... Dang, we just took a big hit in regression. I knew that we wasn't the most spry youngest team in basketball, but I ain't expect it to be that bad. You know, so our starting lineup is, they're starting Terry because there's still going to be time for Chris Paul to get healthy. How much time we talking, Chris? Because I guess that happened towards the end of the season. He's day to day. Oh, okay. He'll be back in like a week or so. So yeah, we'll just simulate a little bit. I can't believe how bad a lot of these players got. There's Chris Paul. He's back. All right, so Chris Paul is going to start. Terry Rozier is a 6th man. I think we put together a good team, though. It's just that the overalls are dropping. But Chris is back on the vengeance because he thought that if he would have been healthy for that series, we would have won that series. That's how he's thinking. That's his mindset going into the season. But starting off bad is not good. As that makes sense, right? This season is going way better than last. We're above 500 by about 6 games. Currently on the losing streak as soon as I start talking. But the boards are looking better. This is around that time where we need to start seeing what teams are selling so we can be buyers. I don't think we win a championship if Mason Plumlee's our starting center. Even if he's playing up right now, he just 4.6 rebounds, 4 assists. It's just not good. It's just not good enough. It's just not good enough for the price that he's at. So this is a time where we hope that there's some team out there with a center that's selling. But I don't mean this guy. I can't get there. I can't get there, y'all. Oh my God, they traded away Rudy Gobert for Klay Thompson. These crazy people made a deal. What the heck? I don't know what's going on in here. So the Clippers are 18-32 and they're selling Zoo. I will be in on that, man. I will be in on that. He's averaging 11 and 9 this season. Quality center, only 26. So he can grow with these old people that's on our roster right now, and his contract is right in our wheelhouse. I'm adding Zoo to our list. I would love for it to be a big old upgrade, but a lot of times it don't work out that way. I'm in. I'm in on this team too. They're saying that they're contending. They're the 12th seed. They're contending. And they also have, I mentioned it earlier, they got so many centers. They got Wendell Carter. They brought in Thomas Bryant. They still got Bol. Like, they don't need all of these pieces. So I'm going to try to get Wendell, or I'm going to try to get Thomas Bryant. One of those two dudes should be coming here because they don't have anything else. This team won a championship last season. Now they're selling. Dang. And Luka's not even considered untouchable anymore. Dang. We might make a deal with y'all later, though. Because, I mean, at $4 million, Josh Green is a get. And Jakob is still here, too. Oh, man. And they got Vooch. Bro, we could have traded for one of those dudes all along. Vooch didn't even regress. He's the same overall he was when we was looking at him last season. We should have just went for Vooch. But they got Vooch and Jakob, and they're a selling team. So, like, one of those dudes can come here as well. So, Miles Turner's off the list. Based on what our team is right now, who do we prioritize? There's Vooch, there's Pirtle, there's Zoo, there's Wendell, Thomas Bryant. Zoo makes the most sense, doesn't he? We'll give them Furkan and Drew Eubanks. So, do we want to keep Drew Eubanks? He's actually having not a bad season at all. Who would you rather have, Drew Eubanks or Mason Plumlee? Probably Mason Plumlee. Okay, so we're pulling off this trade. There it is. Zoo's starting at the center position. So now our bench is Mason Plumlee, Cam Johnson, and Terry Rozier. That's pretty good. And Josh Okogie's playing up right now. I still believe there's a world we can make another deal, though. Dallas, I'm looking at you, Dallas. Selling team. They have our guy Josh Green. You know, I'm almost the captain of the Josh Green fan club. Give us JaVale McGee back. This is where we throw Mason Plumlee. We have to give them an extra player, so we will give you the aging Damian Lee. We will also be willing to give you 2028 unprotected for Josh Green. Is kind of crazy, ain't it? It is kind of crazy. Can we somehow convince you that 2 seconds is worth that? Oh, Damian Lee declines his no trade clause. You are a hater, Damian. Like, supreme hater. It's cool, because we'll give them Tyrell Terry. We just route Tyrell Terry to them after the last trade. They don't want to do that. All right, 3 seconds. Deal. Josh, okay, we then lost all form of realism. But I'm excited about that. I'm going to make Terry Rozier full-time backup point guard now. His overall even goes up as a backup PG. Okay, I mean, I guess he played that for the great majority of his career. So now his overall goes up. So now we got Rozier. We have Johnson, Josh Green, Josh Okogie, and Jacques Landale. Woo, that's kind of fire. Josh, and Jacques. That's kind of fire. That's kind of fire. All right, this is the team. Pascal, 18 points per. Devin Booker, 23. Chris Paul, 12. Mikal, 13. Zoo at 11. You know, we made some significant change. I had Austin Reeves on my list. I was looking at him, but he was a little bit too valuable for me. So, okay, go to the deadline. 4 games between the trades and the deadline to see how good we are. 3-game win streak, 4-game win streak, baby. We here. 1 seed. Tatum wins MVP, averaging 34, 5, and 9. We'll round up for you, JT. Scoot with the Spurs wins Rookie of the Year. Vucevic won 6th Man of the Year. We could have traded for you, my boy, and took that 6th Man of the Year away and gave you the starting spot, but we didn't. Emo wins DPOY at the age of 22. That's a dub. He also wins Most Improved. Mazzulla and them won 64. So that's got to be us, by the way, right? Renancy Stewart Jr. Dude. Anyway, if we do what we think we could do, that might be the team that we go against long term. Tatum is actually injured day to day. Okay, so not a big deal. I thought there was a world where he was out. Emo got All-NBA second team at the age of 22. Julius Randle's third team. Shout out to him. Defensive teams see Luka Doncic on the first team because that's what he do. He's the greatest defensive guard in the league. In the first round, we're going against the Utah Jazz, who have Larry Marketing. They had, Christian Wood. This is a team that was a rebuilding team, and I thought about potentially trying to get Christian Wood, and they made it all the way to the playoffs. So dubs to them. We're basically healthy right now. Let's see if we can win. Game 1 is a win. Game 2 is not. Game 3 is. I don't want to shorten my rotation just yet because I want my legs to be fresh for the next couple rounds. Now we get to the second one. This team is good. We know that they have Jokic, and they have basically the same starting lineup they do in real life. If we lose an early game, that's when I'll shorten my rotation. But if we dog walking these teams, there's no reason to. I want to go against the Lakers in the conference finals to get our little revenge, but they lost in the game 7 to Ja Morant and them. Their team is the same other than having Mo Bamba now, who plays 10 minutes per, but everybody else is still on the roster that we know. See how this goes. So Zaire is a 76 and Xavier Tillman is a 78. I think we look bad. Do we look better? I mean, that Triple J, Bane, and Ja combo is nasty. We might have the better team. Game 1 is a win by 20. Shout out to P. Game 2 is a win by a lot more than 20. Game 3 is a loss. Okay, we didn't expect to sweep them. They have too much talent, and this is the moment where you shorten the rotation when the things are evened up. And when I say shorten the rotation, Jacques, you get like 5 minutes per. Josh Okogie, you're out of the rotation completely. You're there for defensive prowess, but like, really though, you know what I'm saying? I'm giving Book up to 40. Why is Pascal so low? We're getting him up to 40. Mikal Bridges for the defense, and I'm gonna let Chris Paul get 27. I'm actually okay with Terry Rozier getting more minutes than him because at this point in their careers, Terry Rozier is just probably the better player. Now, Chris Paul's not bad. He's 10, 8, 2 turnovers, and 50-50 from the field, so he's shooting it officially. Game 5 is a win. That's a big win. Tripled up for Pascal when we give him those 40 minutes. We're in by 26. And can we get out of here without a game 7? And the answer is no. Ja with nearly 50 to force game 7. Okay. What do we do in this game 7? I mean, Cam Johnson had so many looks. He just missed them all, or nearly all of them. 2 for 13 from 3. He's still shooting nearly 40% in the playoffs. So I don't want to crucify him for this, but you want to be better than that, Cam. This is one of our scenarios where we're okay with Pascal Siakam completely being the backup center. You know what I'm saying? When Zoo is not in the game, let Pascal do it. Now, he is tired right now. He's got that little Gatorade sign or whatever it is. It's what, a battery? He's tired, but this is game 7. You don't have room to be tired. You know what I'm saying? Game 7, we got home court advantage. And the 76ers upset the Celtics in that one. I don't know if you realize that. We'll see them, hopefully, if everything goes as planned. And right now it is not going as planned, but it could and it will. Up by 6, almost double digits. There we go. James Harden, Devin Booker see each other as conference finalists, MVPs. Ja had 51. He tried it, bro. He honestly tried it. But with Jaren fouling out in 20 minutes and Zaire Williams fouling out in 18 minutes, how many free throws did we attempt? Only 22 to their 9. So we had a good whistle. We had a good whistle. You love to see it. I'll take that 100% of the time. And now we go against the 76ers, who have Kevin Love. Did they just sign Kevin Love outright in free agency? Like, I'm sure he didn't want a ton of money if he was a free agent. 1 year, 6-7. Yeah, this team's kind of nice with Harden, Maxey, and Melton still on the roster. Okay. All right, they got Yuta. Oh, yeah, this team's nice, man. This team's nice. I can see why y'all did y'all thing. Now, you did go to 2 game 7s on the route here. We only went to 1, you know, and y'all been rested a little bit more than us, but we win game 1 by double digits. Is this the time for the Suns to do it? Devin Booker with 30, 7 assists, 0 turnovers, a beautiful, magnificent game from Book. Another game where Book is outrageous, but Pascal Siakam ended up with a 30-point triple-double. This is the time for Chris Paul to get his ring. It is a full sweep. But Pascal averages 21, 11, and 10 in the finals and wins finals MVP. Just like that, in the 2 seasons, we turn the Suns back into contenders and ultimately to NBA champions. Chris Paul plays so well. He said, run it back. He don't even want to retire no more, and I respect that. Leave a like on the video. I'll see y'all tomorrow, man. Peace.